So the first reading is from Exodus 17:3-7. Do I have a volunteer?
Today's
Oh.
Wednesday, March 4th, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but it's on page 98, 95.
Oh, okay. Thank
Hold
you.
on a second now. Yep. Amy's going to read.
A reading from the book of Exodus. In those days, in their thirst for water, the people grumbled against Moses, saying, "Why did you ever make us leave Egypt? Was it just to have us die here of thirst with our children and our livestock?" So Moses cried out to the Lord, "What shall I do with this people? A little more and they will stone me." The Lord answered Moses, "Go over there in front of the people, along with some of the elders of Israel, holding in your hand as you go the staff with which you struck the river. I will be standing there in front of you on the rock in Horeb. Strike the rock and water will flow from it for the people to drink." This Moses did in the presence of the elders of Israel. The place was called Massah and Meribah, because the Israelites quarreled there and tested the Lord, saying, "Is the Lord in our midst or not?" The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God. So we have the grumbling people in Exodus here.
Go figure.
Yeah, exactly. So what's interesting is that they're accusing God of taking them out of Egypt to kill them in the desert. So how's that for ingratitude, right? They're accusing him of, you freed us from slavery, brought us out in the desert just so you can kill us. So they failed in their trial to trust in God at this point. So they were thirsty and they blamed God, right? So they're thirsty, they blame God. And they also, was it just to have us die here of thirst with our children and our livestock? So, I mean, they had some concern because they had children and livestock, right? So they were concerned for that. And then Moses, what did he do? He cried out to the Lord. He said, "What shall I do with this people? A little more and they will stone me." So it sounded like they were getting pretty aggressive with them. You know, they're thirsty and, they're taking it out on Moses. Yeah, so the Lord answered Moses, "Go over there in front of the people, along with some of the elders, holding in your hand as you go the staff with which you struck the river." So God instructs Moses. So now Moses is a mediator, right? Now I want to get something clear. This staff that Moses is holding is not like a wizard staff, because I've had people claim, "Oh, it's a wizard staff." It's not, it's not. Yep, exactly. So, but it has importance because it's the same one that made the water,
Red Sea part.
right, exactly. So,
Is that Aaron's staff or not Aaron's staff?
yeah, it's the same. I believe it's the same staff. Yeah.
I assume it is.
But here's something that I didn't notice. It says, "I will be standing there in front of you on the rock in Horeb." He said, "I will be standing there."
Was the rock in Horeb the one that cracks for water?
Yeah, that's exactly it. So, and so when you think about Corinthians 10:4, Paul said, the rock is Christ. And so we have, it's kind of interesting. That's something that I don't know if I really focused on that in the past.
I never did either.
"But I will be standing there in front of you on the rock of Horeb. Strike the rock and the water will flow from it for the people to drink." This Moses did in the presence of the elders of Israel. And the place was called Massah and Meribah. So Meribah means quarreling. Massah means testing. So they quarreled and they tested the Lord at that place. But what was interesting is God didn't really punish them this time, did he?
So this happened twice. I just thought this was this. Well, no, I guess it would be the.
Yeah, this is the first time, and so they didn't have a covenant yet, but God didn't punish them at this point, right? Even though they pretty much accused God of going out, taking them out into the desert to kill them, he didn't punish them yet. And so God also even provides when they're grumbling.
Is this the same or a different time when Moses struck the rock twice?
No, that's later.
Different.
Yeah, that's later. So at this time, this is the first time that he uses the staff to strike the rock, and it gives him water. And so God is providing for him, and we're asked to trust God, right? And sometimes when we're tested, we ask, if God loves me, why do I have to go through these trials, right? You know, why am I going through this? God loves me, right? Why is he making me go through these trials? What's that?
To grow.
Right, exactly. And we don't, I mean, it also, do we only love him when things are going good?
He's our ATM machine.
Right. And remember last week in the Psalm, it talked about being stretched, your patience being stretched. There was that that kind of implication too. And so we're tested. I mean, it's easy when everything's just sailing along great to trust in the Lord, but when you're having a trial or tribulation, that's when it takes faith, to trust in the Lord. And when you're lose a family member, or you have a catastrophic illness, or that's when it takes a lot of trust in the Lord to say, okay, Lord, I don't understand why this is going on, but I trust you and I love you anyways. And that's what he wants to see, and that's when we're being tested. And that's when it's hardest to do that, right? Because by all your senses you're hurting, and you just you get mad at everybody, really. You get mad at God too. Like, why would he allow this?
But all those little crosses we suffer help us for the bigger crosses. I mean, kind of train us how to, if we can handle our little ones well, when the big ones come, not if, when the big ones come.
Hopefully.
Be able to look back and say, he was faithful with the little ones, he'll be faithful now.
Maybe.
But
I
there
mean,
are
sometimes people are different, though. You never know how. I mean, you might think that's a little one. You might think it's a big one,
Right.
and then when you get a big one, you might think, "What the heck's going on? I wasn't counting on this."
Tailored to us.
Right.
So on
Right.
the big ones, I know I experienced this. It was like I can't handle much more, but then I had to keep reminding myself, God only gives us as much as we can handle.
I know I say it to myself all the time.
But sometimes it's so much.
Right.
And again, I say it's the road that splits. You either get closer to God or you go away from him, and hopefully you get closer to him.
You're strong. You got a strong